Hello my dear one, welcome to AVK YouTube channel. Do you love goat meat jollof rice? But for some reason you need to reduce your meat intake and you're looking for alternatives. This mushroom jollof rice right here is the recipe you've been looking for. Sit tight and let's get straight into it. For this recipe, we are using dried mushrooms as our protein. Because it is in its dried state, we need to soften it up, and we do this by adding some hot boiling water. Allow it to soak up the water and soften for about 10 to 15 minutes before using it in the recipe. As a 40+ years old West African who has been brought up eating meat all her life, finding ways to reduce meat in my food was a challenge. So this recipe ticked all the boxes for me. Most importantly, it was flavorful and I did not miss the meat. Whilst the mushrooms are soaking up the water and softening up, let's get the spice mix to season the mushrooms ready. Find the list of the ingredients used for the spice mix in the description box, and also the full recipe for this is on the website www.aftradvillagekitchen.co.uk. The next step is to season the mushrooms with a spice mix. But first, we need to squeeze out all that water from the mushrooms. Mushrooms are like sponges and they do soak up quite a bit of water. So try and squeeze as much water out of it as possible. Now that it has softened up, all we need is it's nice and soft, ready to take up the spice mix. Once all the mushrooms have been removed from the water, set the mushroom water aside. We will use it in cooking the jollof rice. Now, add the spice mix. Reserve some of the spice mix for later. Mix the spice mix into the mushrooms until every mushroom is well coated with the spice. At this point, you can choose to air fry it. In that case, you have to add oil to the mushrooms. But here, we are going to fry it in oil. Place sufficient quantity of the mushrooms in the hot oil and fry. Allow it to crisp up on the edges and for it to brown. Once it has nicely browned, remove it from the oil and set it aside. Fry the next batch until all your mushrooms are fried. I hope you are liking this recipe so far and you will give it a try. You will be amazed. It is delicious. Do give this recipe a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. It will really help this channel. You will find the full recipe on www.aftradvillagekitchen.co.uk. Once the mushrooms are all fried, it is time to strain the oil and set it aside. Those little bits of black things are good. They are the mushrooms and they are really tasty, so don't throw them out. Next step is to add in Aftrad Village Kitchen's tomato sauce for that quick shortcut in making jollof rice. Warm up the sauce for about a minute and then add in the washed rice. The full list of the ingredients is on the website www.aftradvillagekitchen.co.uk. At this point, your jollof rice is almost halfway through. All you need is the patience to cook the jollof rice to perfection. Mix the sauce and the rice well until the rice is well coated. Allow it to steam in its own juices for about a minute before adding in the mushroom water. Full measurements are on the website. Stir well. Add salt to taste. First of all, check that the salt is enough. There's enough seasoning in the tomato sauce. So do check that you have enough salt to your preference and just add salt to taste. Now cover and let it cook. After about 10 minutes, check on it, stir it. Most of the water would have absorbed by the rice. So stir it, making sure any rice that is caught at the bottom of the pan, you have scraped it up before it burns. From this point, we are going to use steam to cook the rice to perfection. To trap in more steam, we put some parchment paper over the rice, cover the rice, turn down the heat, and allow the steam to do its work. Check on it after another 10 to 15 minutes, and you will find the rice nice and soft. If it is not soft, just sprinkle a bit of water over it and cover it back with the parchment paper and allow it to cook for another 10 to 15 minutes, and it will soften up to your preference. When the rice is just about cooked, add in some veggies. Here I use some bell green peppers and carrots. The green peppers bring in a lovely flavor and the carrots add crunch. Season the veggies with some of the reserved spice mix, and then also add in some of the fried mushrooms. Mix it well, cover without the parchment paper, and allow the flavors just to marry and the veggies just to soften up just a little bit until it's like al dente or to your preference. This stage needs just about 5 minutes and your jollof rice is ready for you to enjoy. This recipe right here was loved by us, myself, my husband, and my children. We are Ghanaians. We love our jollof rice with some goat meat, but we equally enjoyed this mushroom jollof rice. It ticked all the boxes. For non-vegans, it ticked all the boxes. And I'm sure this will be a delight for vegans. We served the jollof rice with some vegan shito as well, and it was just delicious. Do give this recipe a try and thank me later.